Ben Affleck Batman returns for Aquaman 2, confirmed by Jason Momoa. Confirmed? I mean, this is the first I'm hearing of this. Well, what have we here? You know, a week ago, the rumor was Henry Cavill's back as Superman, and that turned out not to be the case. Although some are floating around that, he couldn't do the appearance because of COVID, that he came down with it. I would have thought he could still do a Zoom thing. He was going to have to anyway because he was supposed to be in the middle of shooting Witcher, and all this stuff kept coming up. And unless he's really sick and couldn't do it, and that would be just awful. But everyone's been pretty open about, I caught COVID, so I have heard nothing that confirms that. I just don't think there was any deal. I certainly think there should be, and it would make a lot of sense because, man, do they desperately need something like that. And this is interesting and cool, but it's not quite there of saying a new announcement, more Superman films and all that sort of stuff. And, he'll be in Black Adam and whatever, and then Man of Steel 2 and all that stuff. Just would have gone a long way to salvage the mess that the DC films are in. A lot of it is their own fault, and some things are just, good God, how much craziness can it be? But here's the sequel to their billion-dollar hit. Their only billion-dollar hit was Aquaman. And then, someone pooped the bed, and so you couldn't talk about Aquaman at the San Diego Comic-Con. All they could talk about was Shazam and Black Adam and all that sort of stuff. And you couldn't talk about The Flash because somebody went guano crazy and probably did far worse. We just don't quite know yet. And just wrecked the whole thing because the Flash film, of course, was going to reboot everything, and then other films would follow accordingly. And there was this rumor that Michael Keaton was going to appear in Aquaman, and so they had to cut that out because they weren't going to be able to release the Flash on time. The Flash would come first, you'd see that, and oh my God, the whole universe has changed because of all the time warp shenanigans within the film. And then you go into Aquaman, and here's Michael Keaton. Like, what the hell? What's this? And then eventually you get the Batgirl movie, where it's established that he was Batman with J.K. Simmons, Aquaman, J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon, and all that stuff. And all of that would, be fine because depending on how it goes. But I mean, the Flash movie would explain why this is all so different and everything. Well, they couldn't show any of that, and they desperately want to get Aquaman out there because that one has a better shot at being a hit for them. And so, how much screen time could it have been for Michael Keaton's Batman or Bruce Wayne to be in there? And so they just reshot it with Ben Affleck doing it. So here we go. Jason Momoa confirms Ben Affleck is returning as Batman for Aquaman 2, so I guess he'll even be suited up and everything. Wow. In an Instagram post, Jason Momoa shares a photo with Ben Affleck. Reunited Bruce and Arthur. Love you and miss you, Ben. WB Studio Tours just explored the backlot, all right. Busted on set. All great things coming. Aquaman 2. All my aloha, Jay, said Momoa. Momoa also posted on his Instagram story, well, it's not a effing secret anymore, is it? That's what happens, Warner Brothers, when you talk out of your set and there's our fans. Hey guys, have a good time, ha ha. Well, we tried to keep it a secret, ha ha. All right, here we go. So I guess that's what he told them. So there's the picture. There they are hanging out, and so that's what happened. Oh, this is from the Justice League. That's not the. So anyway, Batman likely replacing Michael Keaton. Ben Affleck Batman. News of Ben Affleck returning as Batman in Aquaman 2 is surprising and at the same time not that surprising, as it is guessed that Ben Affleck replaces Michael Keaton Batman in Aquaman 2. The original plan was to have The Flash released before Aquaman 2, where the Michael Keaton Batman would first appear in The Flash and then in Aquaman 2. But since The Flash now gets released after Aquaman 2, if ever, it wouldn't make any sense to have Keaton first appear in Aquaman 2. So it now appears as if Batman of choice in Aquaman 2 is Ben Affleck. Yeah, because they're kind of stuck with that. So according to earlier rumors, yes, Michael Keaton was to have appeared in Aquaman 2 twice. Once in the first act to talk to Jason Momoa's Arthur Curry, suggesting to him that something is wrong with the Earth's core, where it's guessed the Atlanteans are behind it. And the second time in the epilogue during a speech Aquaman says. Aquaman gives a speech and Michael Keaton shows up to listen to it, I guess. Again, now it appears as if the Ben Affleck Batman is doing those scenes, which apparently were recently reshot, judging from Momoa's recent Instagram post. So Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom gets released on March 17th, 2023, with The Flash on June 23rd, 2023. So, will they also reshoot a new actress as Mera? Because I think you need to do that. Apparently there's two different cuts where she's not in it as much. She's still in it. And there's another one where she's in it more. And people reacted very negatively to the longer one that she's in it. But they said the best part about it was sort of the buddy cop type scenario they have going on in the story between Aquaman and his brother Orm. And that sounds like a good idea. That, you know, begrudgingly they have to team up together to deal with whatever it is they're dealing with and all that stuff. So that's too bad. It's like some of the Screen Test talks about the Flash movie about, you know, the story in it's actually kind of cool how they do it, but it's all been sabotaged, and it's sabotaging all this other stuff. And if it had just been a Flash movie, they'd probably scrap it, start over. But then again, it's $200 million. Jeez. So, I wonder if he really will show up as Batman, or if he's just Bruce Wayne, does a few scenes, and that's it, you know. Then maybe it's just, I need a stealth suit. I'm on it. And he gives him this black suit, see. Although I would have thought the Atlantean technology could whip that out, you know. But anyway, so that's the deal. That's the trouble they're in, and Ben Affleck showed up. And is playing ball with them, which makes you wonder, is there a deal for him to return and do his Batman movie? You know? That would be the best to come out of all of this. So as the plan goes, that means The Flash will be last, I guess, if they're still going with this, barring any more horrible stories about Ezra. Notice that they hit his face in that little teaser for the Shazam film and all that. Yeah, a lot of people caught on that. So will it be a different Flash in the Flash movie? Because that's reshooting Amber would take some doing, but not much. This business of Michael Keaton, obviously he was only in for a few scenes, so that's easier for them to do. For Affleck to stand in. But for Ezra, I mean, he's the main character, and he plays two different versions of that character in the story. It would just be an incredible undertaking. You're basically reshooting the whole movie. And that's horribly expensive to do, but they really are in a tight spot. So, boy, what a mess. So I don't know that that's all that likely. I mean, given time, yeah, they could do it. It's physically possible, but geez Louise. And the big draw of all of that was Michael Keaton. Now all of this is ruined because, you know, having him show up in other movies would have set this up, and that would be the excitement about it, and what does it mean, and all that sort of thing. I believe the goal was eventually to get to a Crisis on Infinite Earths type deal. They still could. They're just going to have to do it a little bit differently. And so if they have to reshoot that and salvage something of what they've got with Michael Keaton and everything, they can. Because there's another movie involved in this. There's the Batgirl movie. So, and it's completely dependent on the Flash movie to explain what that scenario is. So you've got Batgirl, her daddy is Commissioner Gordon. Well, of course, it makes sense. Oh, but it's played by J.K. Simmons. He's the Commissioner Gordon for Ben Affleck's Batman. But they've already shot scenes of a young Commissioner Gordon hanging out with the Michael Keaton Batman. What? Well, that's the time warp stuff. See? So they changed everything. The world's changed, and Michael Keaton's Batman was the Batman of the DC universe films. So that you know, you got to explain that. Now, one of the screen tests of that, I heard it said that apparently Keaton's screen time in the Batgirl film runs roughly about 5 minutes. Now, that could be spread out through the film and that sort of thing, but still, That's the amount of footage. So is it also possible to reshoot that where Affleck is the Batman in that one as well, and you salvage Batgirl so that Batgirl can be released as well? And so then you got to delay the Flash after that one. And then you can have Michael Keaton show up, but he'd only show up in that one, you know? So then you could, I don't know, plan for some other film why there's another Batman, you know, or the Flashpoint thing does it, and Affleck would be on hold for, you know, Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever. It's, oh man, it still gives them 3 Batmen with Robert Pattinson hanging around in his own little universe. It's all a big mess one way or the other. But you should have seen it coming, certainly with Ezra. And then you stupidly decided to pick sides in that ridiculous Amber Heard mess with Johnny Depp. And look where you are. I mean, she literally pooped the bed. Granted, the Ezra Miller scandal, the scoundrel scandal looks to be possibly far worse. But so anyway, this is part of the repair, and the best outcome of it is that well, it could possibly save the Aquaman film, but also maybe, just maybe, you could get a Ben Affleck Batman movie. So maybe there's that. I don't know. Anyway, still no Superman.